Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. In today's video, I want to do something a little bit different to the normal content we have here on the channel because I was scrolling through my feed as I do every morning and I came across a post by Lab Muffin Beauty Science. Now, I adore Michelle over at Lab Muffin. She really, her channel is A+, and she really delves into the science behind brands, ingredients, and formulations, and the opinions and information that she's given really have shaped the skincare products I reach for today, and I'm forever grateful for that. Now, in that post, Michelle shares that how on the back of a recent negative review she did on a brand which does an awful lot of sponsorship here on YouTube and over on Instagram, she's seen a lot of content creators and influencers really distance themselves from her and her channel, refusing to answer DMs, and just be really quite negative in terms of their interactions. She's also been the subject to a barrage of really negative and highly personal attacks and comments on videos and in DMs. This has obviously taken a massive toll on her mental health and something that she shares really openly in this post, which I have linked as well as screenshotted here. It is linked in the comments section below if you want to read it in more detail. Michelle says the thing that she was most shocked about was the lack of support from the influencer community in general. People that she thought of as friends that she'd given advice to and supported in creating their own content over the years, now didn't want to return her messages, were actually attacking her online. This I found super shocking as well, because everybody in 2022 is entitled to share their own thoughts, feelings and opinions very freely without being the victims of attacks. And I think this got me thinking, are people putting the potential sponsorship coin above their own ethics? And that's something I want to talk about in today's video. So sit back, relax, and let's pick everything apart. Now, before we get into this, I know a lot of people are wondering, what is the brand she's referring to? Because Michelle never actually calls out the name of the brand in this post. Well, I'm here to say it's Matter of Fact Skincare. That's pretty obvious because if you go through Michelle's channel, the only recent negative review was about Matter of Fact. And this sort of behaviour, I think, kind of chimes and links in with a lot of what Michelle was saying and calling out in that video itself. I'm going to get into things and pick it apart to share my own thoughts, feelings and opinions, but I would love to know what you think of anything mentioned in today's video. So sound off in the comments section below. I think the thing that struck me the most was Michelle calling out the lack of support within the influencer skincare community. And I'm here to say I support Michelle 100%. I don't actually agree with everything she said in that original video and that review of Matter of Fact Skincare, but I will defend to my last her right to say it because we're in 2022 and everyone is entitled to their thoughts, feelings and opinions, providing we share them in a courteous and professional way. And I've checked out that video, which is linked in the description box below. Michelle was nothing but courteous and professional. It's okay to call things out. It's the manner in which you do them that's problematic, and honestly, I think Michelle was like A+ in terms of professionalism. If people don't like to hear that opinion, they're entitled to that, but attacking people, distancing themselves from them, and putting sponsorship over integrity isn't okay, and I think that's the thing that shocked me the most. Here on Mad About Skin, I actually don't do sponsored content. That's just because I think it helps me to remain totally independent, and it's not something I rely on as an income source. However, I never throw shade to any content creator or influencer that does do paid partnerships or sponsorships, because you know what, influencers like everybody else have to pay the bills, and it is a really good income source for a lot of people. I think sponsorships, provided they're done in the right way, you're showing integrity, you actually believe in the product and it's a product that you use and genuinely endorse, are absolutely fine. And Michelle herself does do some sponsored content. I think the problem is when people start to put sponsorships and the money that they bring in above their own morals and integrity. You can see from what Michelle's calling out, a lot of content creators have distanced themselves from her and her channel. They don't really want to be associated with someone that's calling out a brand that is known to be doshing out the cash very liberally at the moment. This is just totally wrong. I wouldn't lose any friendship or, really impinge on my own morals and values for the sake of some coin, because at the end of the day, all we actually have is our integrity, and I think this reflects really badly on any content creator that's done that. Michelle doesn't call any individuals out by name, which again, I think just sings to her professionalism and integrity as a person, but anybody that I am aware of that does that, you know what, to me that's just garbage. I think as content creators, we have a responsibility to the community, to the consumer, to be totally honest and transparent. And you know what, if as a result of associating with another fantastic content creator, one brand decides not to give you a sponsorship or reduce the amount of that sponsorship, well, so be it. I actually don't know anything about Matter of Fact Skincare. I've never tried their products. I don't really know much about them as a brand, but if they're the sort of brand that will decide to not do a sponsorship with someone because they're friends with someone else, well, maybe they're not the right brand to do that sponsorship sponsorship with in the first place. I think what's shocking is Matter of Fact Skincare reached out to Michelle and said, what do you think of our products? And over a period of months, free of charge, Michelle gave her feedback on how she thought the brand could improve, some of the differences in direction and marketing that they could take. They decided to ignore all of that, which is absolutely fine. That's their prerogative. But they then can't be surprised when that influencer which gave those criticisms and critiques doesn't necessarily want to buy into the brand or appreciate it, because again, you didn't take on their feedback. You should really just expect that. And Michelle called out in that post that she suspects some of the people leaving some of the really hateful comments are actually staff members based on the persistency of that. If that's the case, shady, shady, shady. And it never works out. We saw this with Drunk Elephant, which went out, trolled and attacked anyone that said that their products weren't that great, which, spoiler alert, they're not. But they would then attack these people. It's just the wrong way to do it. They did so much reputational damage by going down that route. It's honestly not worth it. As a brand, there's always going to be people that love and don't enjoy your products as much. And you know what? We have to take all of that on board, grow a little bit of a thick skin. As a brand owner myself, I did struggle at the start to appreciate this. People might not like the products I create, but that's okay. No products are going to appeal universally to everyone. And, you know, criticism, if directed in the right way, is absolutely valuable feedback that you should take on board. And so I do absolutely hope that it's not a staff member that's doing this, because that, we learned from Drunk Elephant, never ends well. Ultimately, I hope those influencers and those content creators that have distanced themselves from Lab Muffin as a result of her critique of Matter of Fact Skincare take a second look at this, because honestly, that sponsorship won't be around forever. The coin will dry up, and then what are you left with? Nothing. If you keep your integrity, if you keep your friendships, if you keep everything above board, then you've always got something to fall back on when that sponsorship coin dries up. If now you decide to distance yourself from friends, people that have helped you in the past, just to make a little hard coin in the moment, I think you'll live to regret it in the future, because that coin won't be around forever. I doubt Matter of Fact Skincare will be around forever, and then what do you actually have left? I think this is so disappointing. I've heard a lot of people say that Michelle wasn't that complimentary of Cyril Laurent, who's another fantastic content creator here on YouTube, when he was calling out Purito for not delivering the SPF value that they claimed on their original sunscreens. Now, of course, that was like 2 years ago. If I go back then, I could look at some of those videos. That might be the case. But what I'm here to say is, I think we were all duped by Purito. And also, two wrongs don't always make a right. And I think in this world, you know, we can all learn, we can grow as individuals. And I think for people that are calling that out, you know, it's absolutely a valid opinion. But I think we should always look and say, would we have done something a little bit different ourselves? Were we all a little bit duped by Purito? And ultimately, Cyril was proved to be absolutely right, and I would credit him 100% with that. So, you know what? I don't always think two wrongs make a right, and that's just my thoughts and feelings on this. Ultimately, the reason I wanted to film this video is to show a little love and support to Michelle over at Lab Muffin Beauty. I know how difficult putting yourself out there online can be. You know, not all of the comments are always that positive, and whilst, you know what, you always get the odd troll, to have a barrage of negative and highly personal attacks must absolutely take its toll on your mental health. And I'm here to say, you know what, for all hate in the world, I like to think it's always outweighed and offset by the amount of love that's there. So I would encourage everyone to go out and check out Michelle's videos, check out her channel, drop her a nice comment, show a little love, because, you know, in this world, I think we need to pay it forward. The more positivity and love that we show, I think the more that we'll get back for ourselves. Maybe I'm totally naive, but that's the way that I like to see it. I would love to know your thoughts, feelings, and opinions. So sound off in the comment section below, and wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, and love your skin. Take care. Bye.